So that was a grind it out type of performance by the Raptors as they beat the Memphis Grizzlies 101-86. Even with your three-point shot, nowhere to be found. For the first three quarters, the Raptors only connected for 3 threes. In the third quarter, I think they went 0 of 9. They had a really tough time. And the big thing today was CJ Miles able to play. Doesn't touch the court in the first half, and the Raptors are struggling from 3. Same thing in the third quarter. He's on the bench. Nothing going on. Comes out in the fourth quarter, bang, knocks down a 3, and then the Raptors end by getting 3 more threes in the they end up with 3 threes in the fourth quarter alone. However, the inconsistency of the Raptors' three-point shooting is one of the big factors to this team, and like we've said, do they take a lot of threes? Yes, they're one of the top teams in attempts. They're the top 10 or top 15 in makes. However, they're in the mid-20s when it comes to three-point percentage. It's the inconsistency of the three-point shot that really, you never know what you're going to see from the three-point line. You look at what we saw against the Wizards. The Raptors couldn't shoot a 3. They had an awful time shooting the ball, and they were, obviously in the second half they had a tough time in general. You look at the Portland game, the next game. The Raptors shoot 19 of 40 from 3. They're red hot. And then today, 6 of 34 for 18%. It's the peaks and the valleys, and it's the inconsistency of the 3, the defensive rebounding, those kind of things. There's a few things that the Raptors can really clean up. They can become a very good team. Obviously, defensive rebounding and your consistent three-point shooting is the main thing. However, they get the win mainly because the bench in the fourth quarter. Let's break this puppy down a little bit real quick before we break down some certain players. So it was a really energetic first quarter. However, Raptors only up by 1 at the end of 1. A really good second quarter. Defense grinds in. That's the bench. Only give up 20, and they score 31. Everyone's on fire. Raptors up 12 at the half. But then the Raptors come out in the third quarter, lose their defensive mindset, and they're missing the threes, missing their shots, and I think that carried over into their defense. They give up 30 and only score 20, and you're only up by 2 at the end of the third quarter. Bench comes out in the fourth quarter, only puts up 25. However, the defensive intensity from the bench, did they give up quite a few offensive rebounds? Yes. I mean, 13 of them. However, I'd say about half of those were in the fourth quarter. However, every chance the Grizzlies had to shoot the ball, almost every time, whether it was a second chance shot or not, it was contested hard. The Raptors did a great job in that fourth quarter. Even with the amount of offensive rebounds that they had in that fourth quarter, they only had 12 points the entire fourth, and the Raptors made their shots. CJ Miles knocked down a 3. Right after that, DeLon Wright makes a 3. And then later on, Freddie VanVleet knocked down a 3. CJ Miles, I don't know why he waited till the fourth quarter to play him, but he did, and the Raptors got the win. Yes, Norman Powell has been playing well as of late, so that's why they're playing him. That doesn't mean you sit CJ the entire game, though. Unless he's not 100%. He's available to play if needed, but we don't want to have to use him. Well, you needed to, and you won. But the starters were not good enough. Serge Ibaka, 7 points, 5 boards on 3 of 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, minus 11 on the floor. OG, 6 points, blew a dunk, however, dunked 3 other times, 3 of 9 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3, and minus 14 on the floor. Not good enough. JV, when he got the ball, he was active. He was great. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and they were gorgeous assists too. Also a block to go along with that. 5 of 8 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, minus 9 on the floor. Kyle, 11 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, couple steals. 4 turnovers, 4 of 11 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, minus 11 on the floor. Not good enough. DeMar, 13, 2, basically the same line as Kyle except for 2 extra points. 5 of 14 shooting for 35%, 3 of 4 from the line, 0 of 2 from 3, minus 14 on the floor. All of your starters were minus players in this game, and you know for a fact that in the Tuesday night game against the Boston Celtics, they're going to load up hard on DeMar and Kyle and let other people try and beat them. But the question I have is, will the Raptors have that one guy to have a lightning big game to put them over the edge? We're going to have to wait and see, because like we've talked about the inconsistency. The starters were so great in the last game. DeMar was on fire. Today he was not so great in a minus 14. The only reason this Raptor team won was because of the bench. Let's break this bench down because they were freaks of nature. Freddie VanVleet, do I need to say anything else about him? 28 points, 13 points, 7 rebounds. Yeah, he's the smallest guy on the team, and he had 7 rebounds, the second to Jonas Valanciunas. 8 assists, 3 steals, 5 of 12 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. But the thing I like about Freddie, plus 25 on the floor. Pascal Siakam, 10 points, 3 boards, 3 dimes, 3 blocks, a steal, 4 of 9 shooting, plus 26 on the floor. DeLon Wright, 15 points off the bench, 4 boards, couple assists, 3 steals, 6 of 9 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, plus 36! DeLon Wright. Jakob Poeltl plus 24, and CJ Miles, who was just out there for the fourth quarter alone, plus 17. The bench play, no matter when they came in, they were good. It's the only reason we won this game. But when it comes to down the stretch and in the big moments, you need your bench to step up and have that good game when your starters aren't. And they did today. But with this game done and over with, and I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the way they battled. They didn't look great in that third quarter at all. And a lot of people maybe thought, oh boy, they haven't knocked down a shot. This is getting scary. They're making shots. They were shooting over, I think it was like 50 to 60% in that third quarter. This is not good. But then they flipped the switch in that fourth quarter, and the defense led to their offense. They played hard defensively, a lot of contested shots, some blocks, some steals. Look at the turnovers in this game. They had 19 turnovers to our 11. The Raptors were right there making them make mistakes for the most part of the game. And, especially in that fourth quarter, when you needed to make a shot, they were. When you needed that big steal, that big block, the big stop, they got the stop, came back, and made a shot of their own. I was very impressed with the bench again today. They cease to amaze us. It's crazy. The moment we think, wow, I can't believe we have this bench. They're actually unreal. And then they show us a game like today where we're like, holy smokes, they're freaks. I love it. But the question is, what can your starters do in the next game against the Boston Celtics on Tuesday night? Again, it's probably the biggest game of the season. Boston won 97-96 over Portland today. They were down 16 at the half, but they won that. I don't care where the standings look. The Boston Celtics are number 1. The Raptors are number 2. We want to get to number 1. What do you have to do? Beat the Boston Celtics on Tuesday night. You're at the Air Canada Center. The last time you played Boston, you lost in Boston, and it was a 1-point game. That was a tough loss. You're at home. Raptors team, best record in the NBA, 21-4 at the Air Canada Center. You're playing the best team in the East. I think they've won 4 in a row. Probably Kyrie's going to play. Here we go. This is the game we've been looking forward to for a couple weeks now. This is it. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, you guys didn't pull as much hair out as you thought you would. That third quarter, holy smokes. Thought we were going to tear everything out of us right now. But then in the fourth quarter, we were able to kind of patch it all back together. Let me know. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. Who's your player of the game in this one? And we'll talk to you guys. What would it be? Tomorrow, Leafs edition, is they're at home taking on the Anaheim Ducks. They look to get back in the win column after that tough loss to the Bruins last night. And as for the Raptors, like we said, they're back in action Tuesday night at the Air Canada Centre. Boston Celtics at the ACC taking on the Toronto Raptors. Raptors look to win 3 straight, end their winning streak, and get to within 1 game of the Boston Celtics for first in the Eastern Conference. We'll talk to you guys then.